Hello, my name is Eric Arneson. I'm a landscape designer. And in today's video, I'm going to go through how I began the design process and what techniques and tools I use to create a conceptual landscape design. So how I like to begin my design process is by blocking out these site elements with a bubble diagram, which helps me loosely configure the composition of the site. For this project, the client wants a fire pit, an outdoor pool that's 12 by 24 feet, a privacy screen for around the perimeter of their yard to block the view from the neighbors, and they also want an outdoor deck and an outdoor kitchen area. And in order to place these items appropriately, we need to understand the site conditions as well as the climate and sun exposure. So for this design process, I like to create as many compositions of these arrangements of spaces as possible. So I've narrowed my design options down to one due to the best arrangement of the site elements. And this I will now fine further and really finesse to really nail down the design that works best for the client. All right, so now that I've chosen a design composition for the bubble diagram, so I'm going to really refine this drawing, but very loosely with a thick pen such as this sign pen. And what this is all about is creating an iterative process where we draw very loosely and refine the drawing over a series of layers on trace paper. So now that I've created a series of iterative design concepts and trace overs, I can now refine the design. And the way I like to do that is with a colored pencil. So for this trace layer, I like to use red for hardscape, which is anything that is constructed, such as concrete, paving, tiles, gravel, and I like to use green colored pencil for softscapes, such as trees, shrubs, ground cover, mulch, anything that is either living or that you don't walk on can be considered softscape. And these really help me in this process because they differentiate the two materials because I render them differently. And they also help me trace with my black pen over it because they're a different color, which helps distinguish it. Another great thing about the two colored pencils is that it helps you visualize the balance between hardscape and softscape, which is really important in design because you want it to be a very balanced and symbiotic relationship between the two because they're both equally important elements in a landscape design. So now that we have all the line for the hardscape and planting material, we're going to move on to the next step in creating our final line drawing with a fine line pen, and then beyond that we'll start the color rendering.